Hey guys, I'm here. We're about to dive into episode 7 of season 2 of Batwoman. You know, the show itself took a break off last weekend, so it's been a little bit since we've been together. So I don't know if you remember episode 6 too much or if you saw the reaction, but I wasn't too big of a fan of that episode. Thought it was very poorly paced, poorly written. You know, some moments like, namely, the interaction between Jacob and Mary and how he finds out about her clinic. I kind of wish that was handled in a different way, in a way that they could kind of talk it out and it was more of this bigger reveal about Mary's character rather than the situation we got. But we'll see how that unfurls. I do understand both perspectives on that as far as how Jacob feels about it versus how Mary feels about it. It is one of those complicated gray issues of morality that comes into play, but we'll see how that all resolves. Again, we have this new corporation who's competing against Hamilton, who's trying to get this miracle cure and figure out that whole thing. And then now they have the map to Coriana and all that stuff. The Desert Rose and all that junk is all mixed into this yet again. You know, they released one of their own patients to obtain Mary Hamilton altogether. For whatever reason, they found that to be the best course of action, to send one of their own patients who clearly needs some type of subjugation out into the world. And I know this is a comic book character, Amygdala, but the introduction and the way he was handled in this was just not done well. Again, the highlights of the episode were Cameron Johnson and Rachel Scarston, as per usual. Javicia Leslie had some good moments in here as well. I'm glad also in this that we've called attention to and seem to have everybody in on the loop for, and that's the one saving grace of this episode, is everybody at this point at least knows about her bullet wound, which is apparently killing her now. But we'll see how this all resolves. I hope this episode is at least better than the last one. So we'll dive into this and see how we feel about it. But remember, full unedited reactions to this, as well as all the other Arrowverse shows, as well as whatever DC content's going to be coming in the future, will be here on the channel over on my Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel itself, as well as if you follow any of the Marvel stuff over on Disney Plus, which we'll be covering here in the future, as well as everything Star Wars related going forward, will also be there and here as well if you are interested in that at all. But let's go ahead and dive into this episode. Here we go. Oh my God.
It kind of reeks too. It kind of
very helpful. Okay, remember a few days ago?
Wow, this is a way to start. Ooh. What the fuck?
What the hell just happened?
I am trying really hard not to seriously freak out right now, but I'm pretty sure the kryptonite just entered her brain.
Well, it seems like we're gonna be getting this this resolution pretty quick. I guess, otherwise she's gonna die.
Gotta admit, I didn't think you had it in you.
You really shouldn't be thinking at all, Tatiana.
Well, that was easily resolved.
We found a Garnet Logistics was owned by an offshore company held by Hamilton Dynamics. It appears we have unearthed yet another of Catherine's dirty little secrets.
Wait, what?
Let's go get that map, sir.
Let's go get that map.
Did he just say the guy that he was like working for that sent Amygdala here is like an offshoot corporation of Hamilton? Great Lupin. Good job.
Why the hell am I here?
Can I kill her now?
I'm so confused about all these timelines now.
Leave us, please.
Like from Alice from the house with mouths to here.
She is my prisoner. I will deal with her my way. You fought off 4 of my men before we put you down.
So even before she's ever been trained, she was able to fight off some assassins.
You needed discipline. And Sophia
Well, at least this bit's kind of cool.
teach you how to be a good little soldier.
Okay. He's got some moves. Are you fucking kidding? No! Get back! Get back! God damn it.
The reason no one noticed was because you two hated each other. As the weeks passed, you two became each other's sparring partners.
Hey man, shit. Fighting can get kind of hot. I can admit that.
You said they looked for a year. You weren't gonna be found. What were they supposed to do? Sit around and be miserable for the next decade? Is that really what you wanted? The family you supposedly love and miss so much? You don't need to learn how to fight, Alice. You need to learn how to feel.
Yeah? Yeah? Fucking preach, dude. Hell yeah. I agree with you. I don't agree with this. She has a brain pulse while she's driving.
Are you sure you want to be
Or this. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
Why'd you stop?
Batwoman! Do you copy? Batwoman!
Brain isn't working, so she charged her heart.
What? Oh. Shit.
Hey, where's your wine opener?
Oh. Hi.
Oh my god.
I don't drink.
Look, the dude grows shrooms in a concrete jungle. If you can't find him, maybe you shouldn't quit your day job.
Or I'll haul your ass into the cops.
I'll give you a head start.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, she's not thinking, so I can't really fault her for this, but Jesus Christ. I'm liking this episode though so far. It's more zeroed. Are they just gonna leave the Batmobile? Somebody's gotta drive it.
Why are you giving me the key?
I have to take the Batmobile.
I can take the Batmobile.
I've never driven it before.
I've never driven your car before.
Mary, no!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Mary!
Mary, for fuck's sake! That car is a normal car. This car can blow shit up. Mary, please, fuck. Oh my god. People make decisions that make sense, please. Ooh, ah. Oh.
I'm getting the justice
Mm.
my mother deserves.
Okay, so I hid the Batmobile keys and
You might
and I'm
try
anxious to
tying her
around
down
in
this
case
time.
She tries to run off again, and
And since I don't have access to my clinic anymore, I'm gonna need a few supplies.
so do I look like Postmates or?
No, nor do you look like a doctor.
I'll be back.
You're really not getting it, are you?
Well, you're not exactly unfolding the plot twist.
I was about to
You're drawing
say
here.
she's not really spelling it out.
That she was in love with you. She knew she couldn't tell you how she felt, so she showed you. She entrusted you with her most valued secrets.
Little jealous.
You are such a child.
Well, you're in love with her.
Of course I'm in love with her.
Turns out Mary was operating an illegal medical clinic out of a church basement.
Really? That's... Huh.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. No one wants to tell me anything around here.
Our hypothesis
What the
is that
fuck?
the new solution
Dr. Rogers.
So much for our lead.
Who did this?
What the hell are we dealing with?
Oh, wait. Or maybe the assassins? Oriana people? Who the fuck?
Oriana sent her assassins to cover their tracks.
There we go.
Sophia calls them the many arms of death.
Bingo.
If it's right there, how... I mean, you would have to figure they... Yeah. Cook or torched.
She's your sister. She will spend every waking moment trying to fix it, to fix you. And she can't. Only you can do that. I want to do what you did. I want to escape. I want to start over and experience life outside this island. And I want you to come with me.
The man you were willing to change your life for. The one person who offered you a second chance. The same man Sophia convinced you to stab through the heart.
I'm sorry, that's it. That's your big mic drop moment. Surprise! You killed your soulmate that you don't even remember. Yeah, I found my mother's head in a freezer.
He's got a fucking point.
You can step out of my way and let me do my thing, or I can go through you.
Teaser and Dino.
I get it. I get it.
It wasn't as simple as plucking out just those memories. There was collateral damage.
Find Enigma. Bring her to me.
Sophia, no. You can't do this.
With the memories came the love, humanity that was bubbling up inside of you. Sophia took that. Instead, Sophia turned you into herself. You look upset. Shakespearean enough for you.
So this is their way of explaining her fixation, psychosis, and all of that, and inability to like handle any other emotions that otherwise are trying to creep out whenever she's interacting with Kate.
She's a hypnotist. Would Sophia favor?
She.
Sophia and her legion of lady
She's a
loyalists.
That's what he said, right? Just then?
Now I'm off to Coriana to get my final revenge on my sister.
Live your life. See you, Alice.
Where's Ryan?
My dad couldn't find the map, so there's no way to find Corey.
Why are her comms off? Where is she?
She's gonna die.
Mary, where is Ryan? Do you know who I am?
Honestly, so many women keep showing up in that outfit, it's impossible to keep track.
How's this?
Mommy died and now you're a woman on fire, which means I'm responsible for spawning not one Batwoman, but two.
You think this is funny?
Yes.
My mom meant everything to me.
I have no memory of your mommy.
Liar!
Is that my fault too?
Kinda. Whew.
Ryan!
This isn't the girl I raised.
But she killed you.
It wasn't my fault.
Everything's your fault. Now leave.
It's all Sophia's fault. At this point, technically it is. Everything's Sophia's fault. Even the Joker is Sophia's fault.
This must be the airport shuttle.
Get in.
Where's Alice?
Hello to you too.
That transition.
I'll let her go.
What? Okay, there's not killing, but there's still apprehending.
We need her to go to Coriana.
Playing a tracker on her.
I put a tracker in her
Yes.
boot. We follow her. We find Coriana. We save Kate.
There's no way we're actually going to resolve the Kate thing this season. I don't see that happening. All right, well, I have to say, overall, that was a significantly better episode. We were a lot more focused. Yeah, we saw some follow-ups to the other storylines, but they quickly axed those doctors and that whole thread. Jacob and Sophie were more more or less kind of sidelined this episode, which allowed them to focus a lot more on Mary. Well, Luke also kind of got the sideline, and then by basically, can you go get my groceries? Sure, bye. And that was him from the episode, except for these like book ending kind of quips here and there. So it did focus a lot more. What I liked about it was that it was just a lot more zeroed in on the story it was trying to tell. Alice and Ocean's backstory, why Sophia has this vendetta against the two of them, how Sophia, the reason why Sophia wiped their memories, and what the cause and effect of what she did to their memories, and how that kind of played a part into who Alice became after this. Because that's what I was talking about. Aside from the whole, she managed to fight off a bunch of Sophia's people, having just been taken off of this yacht where she was passed out and drunk. How did she get to that yacht? For one, how did she get drunk? How did she get from Mouse's place to there? And then whatever. And then she's good enough to take on these trained assassins or whatever. That's all fine. But then she comes here, she gets trained officially. So they build up her skill set. I guess she was just a natural from the get-go. And just a prodigy, I guess. And then Ocean trained her up, made her the deadly force that she is today. Explains basically why she can hold her own in all of her fights. And why she just cannot. The one thing I don't like about this is they're making this a side effect of this brainwashing, as opposed to her trying to overcome her trauma now. That's not a part of her character anymore. And that's kind of the only thing I don't like about how this took it. Because it's like, her psychosis, her inability to rationalize, her inability to bring in these emotions she used to have, like love, compassion, and all that stuff, which apparently she still managed to hold on to, even after everything at Mouse's house. A House of Mouse. She held on to that, apparently, up until the whole brainwashing with Enigma, whoever that is. And because initially when I heard Enigma, I was like, is this supposed to be Riddler, like Enigma, or somebody who goes by the moniker Enigma? And apparently it turns out it was some woman we actually didn't see. But I don't know how I feel about that right now, just coming off the heels of it. I think that's the only negative that I really have about this episode, aside from, of course, Ryan making some really emotionally charged decisions when she is definitely not in the right state of mind to be doing anything, or health for that matter, to one, accomplish her own goals, and two, to drive the Batmobile and not be a danger to every civilian on the road. But I get it. I understand that. This is being some nitpicking on the whole thing. But another thing I really liked about this episode was that it finally kind of got us over this hump of Ryan's whole I need to murder Alice train. That whole thing, because it doesn't help her with her decision making, because it definitely clouds her emotions. Very dark side like in a way, as this type of thing tends to do. Of course, the way they kind of got us there and got her to that point is very tropey. With the whole, like, we got the things going into her brain now, and she's hallucinating throughout the episode, reliving that moment. Having these kind of fantasies and hallucination of her killing Alice. And then when she actually gets to that point in real life, we have the vision of the loved one looking back at you, giving you this self-reflection of what you're doing and how they would feel about it. It's kind of a tropey way out of it, but I'm not going to fault it too much for that, because we've seen that definitely in the other shows. I'm just glad that Ryan is now kind of pulled and reined back in from that now. So we get to see where she goes from here. And it was very smart of her to, while doing everything that she was doing in that moment, to somehow still have the cognitive ability to slap a tracker on Alice and let Alice go. Smart move. Smart move. We'll see how this all pays off in the end, though. I don't know how I feel about this kind of changing Alice, because maybe it's kind of giving her a little bit of a crutch. It's not so much the trauma she went through, the torture, the pain, the neglect, the loss of hope. that broke her and put her into this state and this persona she created to survive that whole ordeal. The Alice persona, the character. And then her basically her entire being that we have learned and come to know of her since that whole ordeal with the House of Mouse is the result of Sophia, not the trauma. I mean, the trauma got her to this point, but the persona, the character of Alice, the villain, is Sophia's creation now, and I don't know how I feel about that. So that's my only takeaway from this episode that I'm kind of not all on board with. I mean, Jacob brings a lot of this on himself for the way he handles things, but I feel bad for him at this point too. At the same time, it's like everybody, his wife, his daughters, his like right hand person, Sophie, everybody just doesn't tell him anything, and it's like, oh, it's just for your own good. And he's just like, I can't imagine that, like waking up and then just like completely living in a lie like that. So I get it. As much as like I do sympathize with everybody else and the reasons why they would keep that from him because of obviously the way he would react. I also got to feel bad for the guy because nobody's honest with him. So we'll see how that whole thing kind of pays off in the end. Yeah. Some of the fights in this were actually pretty good. The choreography is pretty solid. There's a couple moments, obviously, where it was just like, it was a little sloppy, but there was some pretty good fight moments in this. Some cracks in the choreography, some of the moments. You see some of the acting there, especially calling back to when Ryan's in her dream sequence, when she's first got Alice pinned up against the wall. Like, you can just see, like, the hand placement isn't right, and you can tell that Alice is flexing her own neck muscles. It was just a quick little thing that I noticed, and it's just a little sleight of hand that they weren't able to mask up. But I don't know. Overall, this was a much better episode than the last one for sure. Maybe even the last two. But yeah, that's been my thoughts on this one. I'm really curious where this is going to go from here. Because if we are now tracking Alice and Alice is on her way to Coriana, seems like we're going to be getting to Coriana pretty quick. We're going to get there pretty fast. And we're not even at the mid-season yet. So where's this going to take a turn? Are we going to see Kate? Did they even recast a Kate? Do you even think we'll find Kate? Is Kate even on the island? Is Sophia even telling the truth about having Kate? I can't imagine that we would get Kate back in this season whatsoever, but I could be wrong. I don't know what to say. What do you guys think about this? Where do you think this is going to take a turn? Do you think we're actually going to be in Coriana within the next episode or two? How do you feel about this episode? These revelations? How do you feel about Alice's, this revelation about Alice's character and her psychopathic tendencies being the result of this brainwashing from Sophia? Her persona, pretty much everything we know about her, aside from the foundation that came from the House of Mouse. Yeah, how do you feel about that revelation? Because I'm still kind of very, very mixed on it. Right now, I'm not feeling like I'm too much of a fan of that one. But yeah, go ahead and sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We can carry on the conversation after the video. Remember, full unedited reactions to this show, the other DC shows, Marvel shows, all that stuff is over on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for your support. Big shout out to legend of the channel, Manny Sherritt, for being just fantastic, and everybody else who's been joining the Patreon and hanging out in the Discord, commenting down below, liking the videos. You all are the best, and I will catch you guys in the next one.